course, that means their children too. And their children forever true.
What's going on, YouTube, man? You already know, bro. If you don't, I'm gonna let you know again, man. It's none of yours truly. The savior of souls, the best lightning main out here, destroy the elite faggots, man. We caught another one in our last video, and we back at y'all again, bro. We got a double feature today, man. Well, I posted 2 videos. That's what I mean by that. I'm not. I don't do the whole 2 matches in one video unless it's like story time, you know. Was it something like that? That's what I'll probably make it. Oh man. Other than that, I don't really got too many other stories. I got a weird as fuck Tekken story I can fucking say about this dude that asked me some shit about, yo man, you ever went into the woods, bro, and you killed a deer, and let's just say people do questionable things to dead animals, man. And I'm like, listen, man. I honestly did not know what the fuck to say, bro. I was like, bro, I remember that shit when I was smoking this shit, man. This nigga asked me that shit. Yeah, man, you seem cool, bro. Yeah, man, and I guess, you know, this is before I figured out that people on the internet are weird, bro. But maybe I'll go into that story another time, though. But, so, Joel Miller, let's get it. Mr. Miller. This is off the cuff, obviously. This is not... Obviously, I haven't bit anybody else's opinions or points. It's a relatively easy to understand opinion and argument. Either you like the man or you don't. Everybody fucking understands his complexities and things like that. But let me, like, fine-tune those things so that y'all know exactly who he is. And I can tell you that putting the past, like Joel putting the past behind him, was impossible. Joel putting his past behind him will never be a thing. It is impossible. It's impossible. I'm trying to say it without actually moving my lips in the way that you have to say the word impossible. But oh shit. But yeah, like that's just what it is, man. So, you know what, bro? I don't know what to say. It's just that we can start off with Joel is a man that has done and has had a lot of horrible things happen to him in his life. Obviously. You know? Joel Miller has known a lot of pain, suffering, and sorrow in his life. And that's a damn shame. You know? It's unfortunate that these things have happened to him. The loss of his daughter. Probably the time he lost his wife. You know, whoever the woman is that gave birth to Sarah, they probably didn't work out, and he's a single dad trying to make it and make you know, give his daughter a good life. And then something, you know, like imagine if I'm not gonna jinx this, but imagine if in our world called reality here, right? You know how COVID was such a big thing here, or across the planet. You know, we've had things like, imagine if we had a flesh-eating virus. That's a real thing. Flesh-eating virus that was as widespread as COVID. That would be an end of all life scenario. That would be something as serious as not as serious, but it would be something along the lines of as serious as The Last of Us. That would instantly make things that serious. You know? So but whatever you do, y'all, just don't go and look that shit up. That shit is disgusting. But it shows you just the gravity of the world that he lives in and the sadness of it. That, you know, Joel never, you know, he wanted an ideal life and live long with his family. Live as long as he possibly could with his family. You know, he knew, listen, Joel knew exactly what the fuck was finna happen to him. He knew exactly what the fuck was finna go down. He knew Abby was finna do what they were going to do. He's wronged a lot of people in his life. And I think that he is perfectly fine with that. I don't think Joel has or is even like I don't think Joel would change any of that. He said he wouldn't. Even in The Last of Us Part 2, where he talked to Ellie, and you know, if God gave me the power to go back in time and redo everything I've done, he wouldn't change a thing, because that's how he feels. That's who he is. That's Joel Miller. At the end of the day, you know, that's who he is. There's nothing you can really do about that. That's the man, Joel Miller. At the end of the day, you know, and we're not like, you know, at least me, I'm not knocking them for it or anything like that. Hell, it's commendable that he's this way, but it doesn't make it right to hurt other people. But you have to understand what is right in a wrong world. You see what I mean? People in real life should not be acting that way by no stretch of the imagination. We're talking about a fiction here. You know, I'm talking about, you know, that, like, you know, like, you can't make the comparison, because I know a dude that will try and make that comparison. You know, and I'm like, bro, that's not even close. Joel Miller, I know there's, you know, because people are out cannibalizing each other. People are at the very worst of what humankind can be to each other. When, you know, the perfect example of this is The Last of Us. The perfect example of it is that game. That people do have a bad side to them. And, you know, unfortunately, Joel has hurt a lot of people in his life, and Ellie and Joel, even though they, you know, they say opposites attract, I guess it's not in that way, but, you know, with them being so different from each other, you know, one being drastically different than the other one. One is a kind-hearted person, the other one is a cold, soulless dude. You know. It's, you know, of course those people like being around each other, but, you know, that's all it is. Joel, if he truly cared about Ellie, instead of trying to make Ellie Sarah, he needed to respect what Ellie wanted, even though what I would say at that point in time, would you give up on humanity as a whole based off of what you see or how your your ideology or basically how you view the world. Would you give up hope in hope in people? Because Joel is obviously giving up hope in everyone except for Ellie. He's given up. Well, no, I wouldn't say he hasn't given up hope in her, but these people kill each other for the clothes on their back. These people kill each other for rations. These people pillage, kill, and rape for fun. What makes you think that these people have any form of like human left in them? And I understand where Joel is coming from with this, you know. Okay, let's say they engineer, and like this is Joel's mindset. Let's say they engineer a vaccine to help humanity. How long will it be before they kill each other for that too? You see where I'm going with this? You know, Joel, based off the experience he has had in his life, it's based off of the fact that Joel has seen more evil than Ellie. This is why when Ellie ran away and they were you know, in that house, and she said something about well, no, she ran away on it and stole one of Tommy and them horses, and she sat inside that house, said what skirt goes with what shirt, etc., and all that. Why, like one of the legendary scenes in the first Last of Us, and it was kind of like, well, shit. You don't understand what your life really means, do you? He said. And, they went on about that. And that's kind of a very, very meaningful big scene in The Last of Us, where Joel and Ellie have a heart-to-heart. And then they talk about going their separate ways and things like that. And, which was much different from the TV series. So, guys, I think this will conclude it here. If you played The Last of Us, I think this is enough information to give you guys a solid view of who Joel Miller is. Joel Miller is most definitely somebody that is not a good person. He's a well-written character, but why is he a well-written character? Because he makes you feel things. Because he feels human. Because he feels like a normal person. Because these are the things you would see a normal person in real life do. Feel for his daughter. Feel for, just the bad things he does, like killing, his background, killing people, right? Mugging, things like that, pillaging, raping, etc. All these things will never be justified. The whole selling salt to a slug kind of thing, the whole corporate ladder and that sort of belief. No one looks at that as, they're never looked at as good people. And regardless of, big eats little, that has nothing to do with being a good person. And people can make it somewhere in life without being this soulless individual that only reflects off of the horrible nuances that has happened to them. That only reflects off the horrible things that has happened to them. So, because, Joel, to me, is a man that's running. He seems like he's a man who's running away from his past. He seems like he's a man who is running away from something. And usually people who are running away from things get defensive and look for other things, and especially look for validation through other people. Yo, man. But yeah, man. I want you to understand. I like this is how you get this, you know. And I'm like, that's the world doesn't care about that.
You have my thanks.
Unfortunately,
Couldn't have gone better.
sin will always be sin. So this is all the time we got for right now, y'all. I think Joel is a well-written character, but he's most definitely not a good guy. We'll catch y'all again.
The messenger is standing at the gate, ready to let go, ready for the crush of the messenger. Too late for whispers, too late for the blush. The past is mercy when the future's glow. Kneeling journey dressed in the cloak of shadows. The hunting's grin for the innocent eyes. Communion spread is a cup of sorrow.